Welcome to the Bull and Bulldog Show, coming to you from Bulldog's Bar and Grill in Poland, Ohio. Right down the street from Dave Pavlansky Field, about a mile. Amazing wings. Got to come check them out. So I'm here with head coach Tom Pavlansky. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you, Matt.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. So, one thing I want to start with is we're already almost 4 weeks into the season. It's flying by, and I'm sure the last few years have flown by for you. I mean, this is a constant for you every year, but this particular season just seems like a special group of guys, special group of kids. What does what does coaching this group mean to you?
It's don't take it for granted. I know our staff doesn't take it for granted. We got great kids here at Poland. We really do. Where I mean, they're just tremendous guys to be around. And you watch them on tape here all throughout the preseason and everything. And in our first three contests, I've had people come up and tell me, say, it's obvious that there's two things. One is that we play really hard and that our guys enjoy playing with each other, and they play with great enthusiasm for being full and bulldog. And those two things happen when you care about each other and you represent who you want to represent. Your opportunity only expands. And so, I'm really proud of our kids, but we know we got a long way to go. We got to keep on getting better, and that's what they're doing.
Absolutely. And just talking to you before we started the interview, I told you about how when I watch these guys, when I watch this group, they're just such a well coached group, such a disciplined group, and they don't seem to get down on themselves.
No, they don't. Football is such a, I mean, it's a microcosm of life, and that, I mean, every play's a new play. It sometimes happens real good. Sometimes, it's not what you want it to be. And but our guys understand and they really play to it. I mean, they really do. Is that they believe it? Is that hey, the most important play is the next play. The last play happened. Can't do anything about it now. Go forward and make sure make the most out of the next one. And that's again, regardless of what the result was on the previous play. And that's what our guys do. They play it one play at a time, and we're going to have to do that against a really good Canfield squad this week.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. So, before we dig into last week's game, one thing that I find very underrated as being a head coach of a football team is the itinerary, especially when going into a game that you're getting on a bus, you're traveling an hour and a half. How do you manage that itinerary to keep these kids, not motivated, but energetic when they get off that bus and ready to play a football game?
Boy, good question. I know we talked about it as a staff, during the off season and in the summer. We kind of start backwards where we start, okay, we go from like kickoff and all we work our way back. And so we wanted to make sure we had that schedule set because, traveling over an hour and 45 minutes to play a football game, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. And you throw in as well, the first week of school also, that adds to the challenge. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of our kids and our staff that, just how they handled it. I just know that when we got off the bus on Friday, we tried to keep it as normal as possible. We did our routines and our guys were ready to go. I mean, they were ready to play. And, again, on a tough night with the weather, against, I think I really believe Ireland is a quality opponent. Um, and our guys came in ready to play right from the get go. And, like I said, I can't say enough about our guys.
Absolutely. I have to applaud you on that, Coach, because you bring school into the equation, and now everything has to be moved up, at, like we said, an hour and a half from the time that you are getting skill guys on the field, from the time you're doing warm up, from the time you're doing the full team routine, warm up routine. Just absolutely incredible. And you guys were able to go in there and pitch a shutout.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to your defense. I mean, a shutout is something to be said at any level. It's not an easy thing to do. What do you attribute that to?
It's a total team effort. I mean, it starts with the kids. Number one, it always starts with the kids. The kids and the coaches. I mean, our defensive staff led by, Mike Wapahowski, our defensive coordinator, along with Ryan Williams, our linebacker coach, and Luke Skinner, our defensive line coach. Those three guys just do a phenomenal job. And you guys, Dave Kessler up in the box helping things out as well, and Anthony Fuller's helping out as well a little bit here and there, and it's a total team effort, but again and then the kids. I mean, the kids got to buy in. The kids got to be in the right spots, but they got to play hard. They play together, and it was, and it was games. I mean, I don't know if you remember, it was kind of wet on Friday night, and
Absolutely.
we played on grass. And our guys, the first time we've been on grass for I think 2 years, and so it got a little muddy. And I mean, I think the kids embraced it, they enjoyed it, and I think they were looking forward to it. We knew what the forecast was going to be, and I think they made a nice positive memory for themselves for the 2023 season.
It's always fun to play in the rain and mud, right? Yeah. And speaking of that, something that worked to your advantage is the ground game. Uh, Vito Kamara had over 100 yards rushing. Chase Jones had about 90 yards rushing. We talked about the run game last week. Talk some more about your great run game.
Yeah, well, I mean, tribute to our kids up front. It all starts up front, and again, they did what they needed to do. I mean, we didn't play a perfect game by any means. We probably had one too many penalties, and you'll be the first one to tell you that. But we did enough to make sure we took care of the football. And again, the weather conditions, I mean, dictated that we really got to be careful throwing the ball. And I'm really proud of the guys. Again, we executed all our snaps and took care of the football. Didn't have any turnovers, and and they learned, hey, it's okay to punt the ball. And so like I said, I mean, any kind of a shutout, you got to have a three-way go about it in terms of special teams, offense, and defense. And yeah, I think our guys really complimented themselves well. Each unit complimented themselves well, and and that's how you come out with a W.
So nice to have an effective run game in your back pocket for when those conditions are like that. And finally, the $1 million question here. Canfield coming up this week. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to this town?
It's our rival. So I mean that can't be understated, and I know they feel the same way. I go back, and I still remember back in 1974. And my first memory of going to Canfield and watching the game from the stand, and being in the stands with my mom and my older sister, and uh, so it goes way back. I still remember back in '77, and there was a snow bowl here. I mean, it was like 2 feet of snow we're playing the game in, and I remember my dad's last game in '78. We beat him 21-8 over there, where we jumped out 21-0 right off the bat, and I mean, I remember a lot of things. Okay, I remember a lot of things. It was 2024 now. Our guys, our squad, our seniors, especially, the guys go around that, and I know they're working to be as ready to go as possible on Friday, and then I know Canfield's doing the same thing because I know this game is it's a rivalry game, and so we're not we know we got to put the work in, and like I said, today's Tuesday, can't play the game on Tuesday, and so we got to make sure we take care of ourselves today in terms of getting our rest and hydrating, and so that we can give ourselves the best opportunity on Friday night because on Friday it's one play at a time, and we got to be the best version of ourselves, and we want to have a chance on the road.
Absolutely, coach. Not only is it about getting another win, it's about getting those seniors that last memory that you were speaking about. I remember my last senior game against our rival at the time. It was Fitch when I played for Boardman. I'll never forget that night. Unfortunately, it was a loss, but it is something you remember for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
absolutely. Looking forward to it. Good luck, coach. Thank you for joining
I
me.
appreciate
We'll
it.
be
Thank
back
you.
with another player comment in just a minute.